Morning and welcome. My name is Richard Lee. I am the CEO of LOTTE BIOLOGICS. I was excited to be invited to speak here in Singapore, one of the most developed cities in Asia, to discuss the future of automation in the healthcare industry. In our modern society, urban migration has woven together hopes and opportunities, resulting in the modern landscape now we live in. Yet within these condensed cities, our proximity has bred not just innovation, but also vulnerability. The speed with which diseases can spread in our tightly packed communities. If you rewind 100 years ago, the life expectancy average for the world is only about 30 years, maybe 40 years old. And not too long ago, 1 out of 10 children wouldn't even reach their 5th birthdays. If you think about it, with odds like that, it's a miracle that our great-grandpa or great-parents actually survived. So let's embark on a journey into a future that would that have seemed like science fiction to our grandparents. We're in the middle of a human longevity revolution. Thanks to advancements in healthcare, we have been able to extend the average lifespan. Since the 1950s up until our current year of 2023, life expectancy has been constantly increasing. Remember when I mentioned about 100 years ago, people were lucky to live to 30? Well, fast forward to now, the global average lifespan is about 70 years now. And places like Japan, Hong Kong, it's even surpassing 80. It's over 100 years, the average lifespan has doubled. That's pretty amazing to think about. Thanks to the pivotal periods in our history, such as agricultural and industrial revolution, the continuous improvement in our understanding of health and disease overall, we're spending much more time on this planet. But there's a catch. People are just not dying. More people are living longer, leading to steady growth population of seniors. According to the World Health Organization, the population of many countries is steadily growing older. In fact, by 2050, 22% of global population will be over the age of 60. This change in lifespan comes with a change in the prevalence of diseases. On top of improved access to food and daily necessities, one of the reasons we have been able to extend our average lifespan in just 100 years is because we have been living in the era of eradicating infectious or so-called communicable diseases. Is there anyone here born after 1980s? Oh, okay. Do you remember smallpox? If this is a distant memory or knowledge to you, it's all thanks to the scientific breakthroughs. The medical treatments that have now allowed people to live much longer. However, the average lifespan has increased. The incidence of non-communicable diseases, such as heart disease, diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, and cancer has also increased. So people are living longer, but are living with the burdens of non-communicable diseases, NCDs. The rising tide of chronic and non-communicable disease looms large, underlying the changing landscape of global health, our global health. According to the WHO, this growth in NCD is due to the increase of aging populations. Let me talk about Korea now. In Korea, during the 50s, people are suffering from malnutrition, infectious disease. Now that we took care of all those communicable diseases, NCDs have become, relatively speaking, the biggest burden in Korea's healthcare system. In the same way that we successfully conquered the infectious disease, our next mission is to tackle the problem of non-communicable diseases. The increase in elderly patients with non-communicable diseases has led to a subsequent increase in demand of biologics and advanced therapies. Biologics specifically and efficacy make them attractive treatment options for NCD patients with traditionally incurable disease. However, an aging population doesn't only present a healthcare problem. It also presents societal and economic ones too. As population gets older, the available workforce inevitably decreases. We don't have enough workforce to work for us. Rather than viewing this as negative, it presents us with the opportunity to implement automation, robots, AIs, especially in the manufacturing sectors. These technologies offer the opportunity to go further and transform the biomanufacturing industry. In recent years, biologic treatment have grown significantly within the biopharmaceutical market. In 2009, the biopharmaceutical industry altogether stood at $530 billion, with the biologics market being only $124 billion in size. Now, in 2023, in a biopharmaceutical market of $1.4 trillion total, biologics products constitute about $415 billion market here. The biologics market has tripled in size within 15 years. That is huge growth rate. At the heart of the biopharmaceutical landscape, antibody drugs, including fusion or recombinant proteins, continue to play a pivotal role, serving as the foundation of therapeutic interventions. The global therapeutic antibody market size was $109 billion in 2022. The rate of the growth, CAGR, therapeutic antibody is extraordinary. In 2009, the therapeutic antibody market was only $30 billion. If you calculate that, I did it for you guys, that's about 360% growth in 13 years. Our constantly developing world has recently seen a push towards automation. Many of the countries already experienced the effects of aging population are actively implementing automation in their manufacturing industries. Countries such as Korea, Japan, and even Germany, and China, who already have aging populations, are leading their way in automation in manufacturing industries. In a study conducted by McKinsey & Company, if you compare automation in the pharmaceutical industry against other sectors, we only scored 29 points out of 100 on AI capability change of -2. Meaning that the pharmaceutical industry has been very slow in its uptake of automation and AI. We are falling further behind in adoption of these capabilities. What do you think we're so far behind compared to other industries? What's the reason for that? It's quite simple. It's regulations. We operate in one of the most highly regulated industries in the world. However, we cannot use this as an excuse not to pursue automation in the biopharmaceutical industry. Some pioneering biopharmaceutical companies have ventured into automation already. Their exploration has primarily centered around specific applications for their needs. For instance, several have embraced chatbots to facilitate patient self-service and provide support, enhancing their commitment to their patient experiences. Others have implemented robotic process automation, so-called RPA, to streamline operational maintenance processes, improving efficacy and accuracies and other needed processes. While these are good first steps into automation, they merely scratch the surface of what's possible. For us, biopharmaceutical manufacturers, how do we implement automation to respond to challenges of aging populations? As mentioned earlier, due to the increase of patients suffering from non-communicable diseases, the demand for biologic treatment is large. Not only is there a distinct unmet need for biologics treatment for disease, such as Alzheimer's or Parkinson's, there's also a shortage of supply for existing treatments. I'm sure many of you guys know already, but according to the US FDA, there were shortages of approximately 1,293 drugs and biological products in 2022. In the future, as the population or proportion of elderly people increase, and the incidence of NCDs, supply of biologics will become more constrained. Let's take a moment to truly understand what this means. This is an example of South Korea. So as you may have heard, country has a universal healthcare system, often heralded as one of the finest in the world. People travel to Korea to receive treatments and praise our medical excellence. When your loved ones, your grandparents, mom and dad gets cancer, despite the advanced healthcare, there's a mandatory treatment pathway. I'm sure it is like the same way in other countries as well, that begins with small molecule chemical drug treatment. For the first 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months, they endure excruciating regimen. Relentless nausea, go through hair loss, weight loss, they look aged, they lose their friends, and more tragically, they lose their dignity. By the time they reach the second line of treatment, even more potent, more taxing, hope begins to dwindle. The state-of-the-art, life-saving biologic treatments are often out of reach, deemed too expensive. It's at the third-line treatment. The fight becomes a surrender, devastating loss of hope. My heartfelt conviction is that we can, and we must, do better. Through operational excellence and implementation of automation and optimization, we have the power to transform the way we manufacture biologics at better pricing. It's not merely about producing this component more efficiently, it's about providing patients with better access, better cost, and better lives. Our mission in the biopharmaceutical industry is to make the advanced treatment of tomorrow to standard care of today. The lives of our patients, grandparents, and families are at stake. This is calling our responsibility. To ensure uninterrupted supply, improving production capabilities, while upholding quality standards and reliability, this in turn will assist in decreasing price, making them more accessible to the patients. We need to utilize automation to prepare for the coming workforce shortage, which will be caused by the growing aging populations. This is a perfect time to implement Biopharma 4.0 to improve manufacturing quality and supply if needed, if treatments are needed. Although the introduction of automation requires upfront investment, huge upfront investment, the various changes to process and management, automation can improve quality through improved process efficiency and reduce human errors. Automation holds the key to reliably producing quality medicines and adapting evolving healthcare landscape. Let me take a moment to talk about our company. In order to face the issue of an aging population and a decreased workforce, LOTTE Biologics is fortifying its commitment to securing a sustainable supply of high-quality products. We are working to expand our production facility on top of our New York Syracuse biomanufacturing plant in North America. We are adding manufacturing plants in Korea and have plans to add a total of 360,000 kiloliters of biopharmaceutical manufacturing capacity by 2030. That's $3 billion projects to supply products of cancer and other NCD products. But let's not place too much focus on this high capacity volumes and bioreactor sizes. We're very agile. We are going to go with the plant one, and with new modalities and higher titers and other new facility designs, we are able to, custom to industry needs. To that end, we are currently collaborating with large global biopharmas to manufacture and equipment vendors to roll out the state-of-the-art, highly automated process line by 2030. From the field level through MES and ERP, we intend to implement advanced, sophisticated computer systems throughout the manufacturing operations. LOTTE Biologics will also strategically implement and utilize data analytics, process automation, and various other automation technologies. Through this implementation of automation, we hope to not only modernize GMP, but also enhance the manufacturing of quality biopharmaceutical products. Through this effort, we are preparing to face the incoming issue of an aging population head-on. At LOTTE Biologics, we believe the improvement is ingrained in our DNA. We have recognized the importance of automation and have taken significant steps towards integrating it into our manufacturing process. Our goal is to make biologics more accessible, enhance patient outcomes, and contribute to the well-being of our aging population. LOTTE Biologics' vision is to deliver therapies that enable a healthier world. Although there will be a lot of talk of these, technology equipment during these sessions about innovative technologies and so on, but we must never lose sight of the most important aspect of who we serve, the patients. At the end of the day, we're here to improve patients' quality of life, to make their lives and the lives of their families easier and better. We stand on the cusp of this transformative age. We cannot ignore the storm on the horizon, the aging population, burdened with an escalating wave of NCDs. We must be proactive in our adoption of automation and revolutionary change that it will bring, and not be bystanders and just watchful eyes in the face of the challenge. If we falter, the problem will spiral beyond our control. I hope this will be the era where we transform challenge into opportunity, where we harness automation into our process, shape the future that not only counters the complexity of an aging society, but propels us to new heights of excellence, compassion, and progress. This is my vision for the future. Thank you.
All right, so we have a bit of time for questions and answers. Do we have any questions for Mr. Lee from the floor? Very shy.
Shy crowd.
I have a question. What do you foresee are some of the key challenges in implementing Biopharma 4.0, and how are some of the ways we could overcome these challenges?
I think biggest challenge in creating automation is finding the right appetite. So, I've built many biologics plants before, and if you over-engineer automation, it's difficult to rip that apart and make it more flexible. LOTTE Biologics is a CDMO company, so we have to create automation that are suitable to many, many different customers and products. So finding that right balance between easy button, full automation versus flexibility, finding that is a challenge to us. But some of the dedicated facility, you may be able to go full regalia and trying to put, high level of automation there. So making that decision in early end, even in the design, a conceptual phase of the construction is probably the most pivotal action item.
Thank you.
We have one more question.
Thank you for your great talk, Richard. I have a question. When it comes to bring down the costs, how do you think that standardization and modularization already during the engineering phase will come into play? Because at least we, from Europe, from Theta, we see a lot of highly customized systems where our customers really do like happy engineering, and it's far away from delivering standard, which makes the equipment exclusively expensive. So how do you see the impact of standards and modules in getting cheaper investments?
I want to understand your question correctly. Can you repeat the beginning section?
Yeah, I'm from Theta, so we are an engineering company, and we also deliver equipment. Mm-hmm. And what we realize or witness, at least in Europe with the global players, is that they are asking for highly customized equipment, which means stainless steel in exactly that order as they want to have it. So 2 bioreactors are never the same, right, which increases the price significantly. What we can now witness is that there is a trend towards modularity.
So this is probably, everybody has different aspects. I'm on the receiving end of the bioreactor. You're the creating end of the bioreactor. Everybody wants standardization. So I give a quick example about DP, drug product fill finish vials. There may be 500 different vials in the world. there has been constant effort to harmonize it. 10R, 20 ml, blowback, same thing for bioreactor. Some are more suitable. Everybody has their choice. It's going to be battle. It took automobile industry come up with the regular sized tires. It took decades. You see us, phone, Samsung phone, Google phone. What's the other one? Apple. Sorry. Apple to harmonize their charging station. You see it all the time. Electric cars. If you come to Korea, there's 6 different types with 18 different membership services. My wife owns a Tesla, but getting to modular is something that everybody wants, but at the same time, it's a niche market. So some people don't want it because they don't want this knowledge to be shared. So again, it's a fine balance between harmonization versus uniqueness that they carry on. When we build a plant, we want to do modular too. But at the same time, our customer may want a specific process. My cell culture is microbial. It has to be longer. I want stainless steel that are more shiny, histoloid. Everybody has different ones. So it's a difficult question to answer. But knowing that everybody has different characters and companies have different cultures, it may come into effect. But everybody has their own interest. So it's a difficult thing, but it takes time.
Thank you for your answer.
Sorry.
All right. Actually, I have one question. So you say that regulations are the ones that might be the thing that's slowing down the uptake of technology. But actually, regulators have, like for instance, in PICS, they have clauses in there that says that we should adopt technologies that allow for parametric release, and that was over 10 years ago. And I think at this stage where we are today, we are not there yet with parametric release. Do we think that that's not just the regulator side, but also on the manufacturer side, where our own people are not progressive enough?
Good question. So I think at the higher level of all things, we want things to be streamlined, always. I think no one will argue against that. No one will argue against, contextual review, quick release, and things like that. It's just a common knowledge everybody wants to pursue after. But again, there are different stakeholders. Let's say I own a business, for example, mycoplasma testing. I run mycoplasma testing, culture-based. If FDA, EMA implements qPCR will work, my business disappears. There are so many stakeholders in a currently existing process that there are people who's going to revolt against. Another thing is the industry has such a long-lasting approval time. So once it gets approved, nobody wants to go through change controls. Nobody wants to go through interact with the FDA. Once it's approved, it's set it and forget it. So that's why people are looking for the old equipment, because you want to just switch over to the, even if you new equipment, new technology comes along, it's almost impossible to implement because it's already, FDA might say, you need to come with a new monkey study. I don't know. So they might come back with a higher requirement. So people are sort of discouraged from making those changes. So FDA will say we want these technologies and automation to be implemented. User end will do, but it takes time to turn up the idea and actually execute it. Takes time. So those are the difficulties we'll be facing. We will always face that, but what I'm proposing to everybody is let's continue to drive it. 1 discussion, 2 discussions, 20 discussions, we'll continue to do it. We'll get there someday. Okay?
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Richard.